Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we untangle Wall Street's finest word salads and see what is really cooking under the hood. Get ready because today we are diving into a report that is probably more exciting than it sounds. A look at Palmer Square Capital BDC Incorporated's latest updates. And let me tell you, there is a shareholder meeting decision that might make you raise an eyebrow or two. Before we dive in, if you love getting these unfiltered looks at corporate filings, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to join our Discord community. Link in the description for more chats and insights. Alright, so what we have here is a Form 8K, which is basically a current report. Companies file these when something important happens that shareholders need to know about pretty quickly. Think of it like a company's status update, but a very official one. This particular report is all about a shareholder meeting that happened on the 18th of December 2025. The date of the report itself is the 19th of December 2025, but the earliest event it covers is that shareholder meeting on the 18th of December. Now, what happens at these meetings? Well, shareholders get to vote on important company matters, and it looks like Palmer Square Capital BDC Incorporated had a couple of key things on the agenda. The company held what is called its 2025 annual meeting of stockholders. To even be eligible to vote, you had to be a shareholder by the 17th of November. Now, out of all the shares that were eligible to vote, a pretty good chunk, over 24 million shares, were actually voted either in person or by proxy. That tells us shareholders were paying attention. So what did they vote on? Two main things. First, they elected 2 directors to the company's board. These directors will be on the board until 2028, assuming no crazy surprises. Think of them as the strategists guiding the company's ship. The second big item was ratifying, which means approving. The choice of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as the company's independent auditor for the year ending the 31st of December 2025. Basically, they are confirming that the company's financial books will be checked by a reputable accounting firm to make sure everything is on the up and up. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the votes when it came to electing those 2 directors. We see the names Christopher D. Long and Megan L. Weber. For Christopher D. Long, there were over 16 million votes for him and a tiny little number of votes withheld, just over 13,000. That is a pretty clear mandate. Megan L. Weber also got a strong showing with over 15 million votes for her. However, and this is where things get a bit interesting, there were nearly 1 million votes withheld for her. Now, 1 million votes withheld isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but it is significantly more than for Mr. Long. It could suggest some shareholders had reservations, or perhaps just felt less strongly about her candidacy compared to Mr. Long, or maybe they just didn't vote on that specific line item. When you look at the total votes cast in this proposal, the vast majority were in favour, so she was still elected, but it is a good data point to keep an eye on. Next up, the auditors PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP. This vote was overwhelmingly in favour. Over 24 million votes for them, a mere 5,483 votes against, and only 42 abstentions. This is pretty standard. Companies generally want their auditor to be approved by shareholders. And a firm like PricewaterhouseCoopers is a big name, so this level of approval is expected. Finally, the filing wraps up with some administrative stuff, including this thing called a cover page interactive data file. This is essentially a machine-readable version of the filing that makes it easier for computers to process. It is like giving the report a digital index so that other systems can quickly pull out the key information. So, what is the story here? Palmer Square Capital BDC Incorporated had a shareholder meeting, and generally, things went as expected. Directors were elected and the auditor was approved. The only slight nuance is the number of votes withheld for Megan L. Weber, which might indicate a minor level of shareholder dissent, or perhaps just a less enthusiastic endorsement for a company like this which operates in the business development company space. Shareholder confidence and board stability are crucial. The strong vote for Mr. Long and the auditor suggests broad support for the company's current path. The higher number of withheld votes for Ms. Weber is something to monitor in future filings. It could be an anomaly or a signal of potential future challenges in director elections. For now, the company seems to be navigating its shareholder relations smoothly, but continued transparency and shareholder engagement will be key. Alright, that is our breakdown of Palmer Square Capital BDC Inc.'s latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.